right, so now we're going to do a little bit of exploring to see what happens when we shift data. So we've seen how to use our calculator already with our mean and standard deviation. If I think about writing out these calculations, what I'll find is that this sum of xi fi ends up being the same as the sum of x in my calculator. So this already includes the frequencies. Same thing when I have sum of x squared, that ends up being the same as the sum of fi times x squared. So if we have this data, here's going to be our values. So our mean is 2.5 and our standard deviation, well, all right, I want to find that exact value. So I'm going to go in and edit my data, and I'll have 0.2, 0.2, enter, 0.4, 0.1, and 0.3. And then I'll delete out these other two. Same thing over here, I'm going to delete these out. This whole list I just want to clear out. I'm going to come back and edit it later. So I'm going to come in and do my stat calculation. And then I'm going to find my standard deviation squared. So stats bars and standard deviation squared to give me my exact value. That's going to be 5/4. So I've got my exact values. Now let's see what happens if we take all those x values and double them. So I know my expected value, that's going to be the 2.5. My variance is the 5/4. So now let's go ahead and double those x values, and let me show you how we can do that quickly. So stat, edit. So now list 3, I'm going to say that that's 2 times list 1. Oops, list 1. And then I'm going to do 3 times and a half times. So over here, I'll say 3 times list 1. And over here, I'm going to say list 1. Hopefully. Oh, don't freeze. No. Well, you get the idea. And then you can go ahead and do your calculations and come up with some conclusions. So these conclusions are typed up in the typed up notes for you, but I'll let you explore and see what happens. Maybe it's a good thing my calculator crashed.